Hello, I'm Martin from Project Alf, and today I'm here with our very first video describing the Alf methodology. Alf methodology is a kind of a framework that we have added on the top of and inspired by many other product management frameworks, trying to add our own view on the product management itself. And what other topic we would start with than what we call product maturity stages. Now, I want to admit, this is something that is inspired by, other frameworks, other publications, though the product maturity stages is something that is extremely important for the ALF methodology itself, because this is something that goes through every single topics, every single things that we are either monitoring or trying to help you to kind of like view in the tool, things like backlog health, team utilization, and so on and so on. Everything relates to the product maturity stages. It is not really important how many stages you have, how well you define them. It's important to know that all the indicators, things like, PM quality indicators and so on, are changing as your product mature. Now, I have here an example of, this is, from some other publications, how they, define, let's say, 6 stages from introduction, initial growth of your product, kind of like a maturity phase or phases and so on. We have decided to kind of like make it as simply as possible. So for the sake of examples, we use just 4: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. But the phases itself are not really important. You won't see them anywhere strictly defined in the Project Alf. Well, what is it important for are the other things, right? Everywhere where we want to kind of like monitor trends of what's going on in your product or roadmap or backlog, right? The product maturity stages are something that you have to take in count. I have here 4 examples, and the ALF methodology defines 4 key examples where the maturity stages are playing a key role. First one is the size and the quality of your backlog, right? At the beginning, you have mostly the feedback from, depending on your product, you have a feedback from your either initial users or the product management team. When you have a early phase of your product, you don't have a lot of feedback from wide amount of the users. This is something you have to take in count when you prioritize your backlog, right? So later on, what you will start with, you'll start seeing trends like, as your product goes mature, you'll see more of things like what we call a garbage feedback. Garbage feedback means there is a lot of like a duplicities or non-relevant feedback. You'll have a lot of things lying in your backlog with a low priority for a long time. And those are the things that are playing a key role in how other and the external users are seeing things like, priority. How are you explaining the priority to the people that posted the feedback to you, right? You have to be aware of that. You have to be aware of these kind of indicators. The third one is kind of like fluctuate roadmap planning, right? At the very beginning and the early maturity stages of your product, it's perfectly fine to kind of changing things all the time, if you will, right? Changing the time when each requirement development starts, changing it often, changing the people, because it's normal. It has to be agile. It has to be flexible. But as your product goes farther and farther, this is something that kind of has to stabilize, right? And last one is basically the estimates. And now don't, take my word as a holy grail, but no matter how you do the estimates, whether the numbers, t-shirt sizing, whatever, this is something that you have to be aware of how this is trending within the product maturity stages, right? Are you getting more effective or less effective? Those are the things that we focused on, and in the future chapters, in the next chapters, I will explain every single one of them and actually how will we implement them in the Project Alf, how this is materialized into the Project Alf features that will help you seeing these trends. So this is it from my side. That was it about the product maturity stages, how we see them, how we understand them. Thank you very much for your attention. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video where we will talk about the capabilities maturity stages, and we will jump then into the priorities, estimates, and confidence levels. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.